So third video review for this week is for my paperback read, which is Winter's Harbour by Aurora Rey. For any of you that didn't see the introduction video last week, this is just a quick look at what the book looks like, but you can still check out that introduction video. It's still around on YouTube and on my blog. I posted my Goodreads review the other day. If you want to go and check that out, if you're on Facebook or on my blog, then there is a link within the post, and if you're on YouTube, there's a link in the description below. And this is a video review. So Winter's Harbour by Aurora Rey was simply the most beautiful story ever, and oh, it's so cute. I'm literally thinking about it now, and I'm like, oh. You know when you pick up a book and then you just think about it for days, and which is happening a lot recently, obviously, because I have the time to sit and think about it for days, but I'm like, oh, just like it keeps popping into my head, like I'm doing something and it'll pop into my head, and then I get a little smile on my face and I'm quite happy about it because I remember that moment or the thing that happened, and I'm like, oh, cute. And then, like, yeah, it keeps happening. So this is a story basically about Leah. I hope I've said that right. Leah. I'm gonna call her Leah. She packs up her life and temporarily settles down for the winter in Provincetown. So she's had her heart broken by her ex-girlfriend Danny, and she's just looking for escape and to just find herself again after quite a long time of feeling out of place in New York City. So she's a country girl at heart. She's sort of returning back to that laid back, not city life sort of thing. Provincetown, it's friendly, she's instantly welcomed by the community, she feels really at home there. So settling in, Leah finds herself heading to this small cafe on a daily basis to work, and she strikes up a bit of a friendly but flirty sort of attraction with the owner, who is Alex. And Alex is pretty much besotted with Leah from the moment she sees her. She's really intrigued by her and wants to get to know her, and she's hopeful that she might be more than sort of the usual clientele that temporarily sort of rock up in town, and that Alex maybe, you know, has a little bit of a fling with. And she allows herself to get a little bit more attached than she normally would, having sort of learnt why Leah's there and why she's come to be there in restrictive terms, if you like, because Leah's not overly telling on these things. So not to begin with anyway. And she's sort of like a closed book that Alex needs to open and learn about to make decisions. And Leah's got a lot of hang-ups as a result of obviously the years spent with Danny, and Alex's reputation there it has a lot to overcome if they're going to sort of find happiness together and be with one another and just fall in love, I guess. And it was really quite cute. So I totally fell in love with Winter's Harbour. It's a cute, warm, fluffy romance, and it's just the sweetest thing. It really is. If this was the only book that Aurora had ever written, I'm going to say this now, thank goodness it's not, because I have read some of her other books and they're really good. But if this was the only book she'd ever written, it would be perfect. So she really did an amazing job with this book. It really sort of spoke to me and really sort of got under my skin, and I loved it. I absolutely adored the story and the characters and all those lovely moments they shared. It was just so, I guess, what you would call Hallmark movie cute. You know, that sweetness to it, but not overly done, so not to the same extreme of that. Just realistic, I guess, that's the right word. And as with any romance, obviously Winter's Harbour is not without its drama, it's not without its angst, and that really sort of tugged at the heartstrings, that when that popped up, the drama and the you know, whatever, the angst, that's the word. Oh, getting all tongue-tied today. Yeah, so all that drama and angst, it really did, like I say, tug at the heartstrings. Like when you were really feeling it on Leah's part, and again on Alex's part when it happened. And I felt very emotionally connected to both Alex and Leah at all times during this book. So I just adored every moment, and I'm super glad that this is a series because it means there's more than one. And I can't get enough of just how cute they are together. The way Aurora sort of told their story had me really invested in them from that very first chapter, that very first meeting, and from their sort of I was lost in them falling in love. I really was, and I literally could not put this book down. I had to remind myself to do my reading updates for you because I was getting so lost in the story. And just the moments, like seriously, they capture like the most magical moments, the really special falling madly in love with another person moments. And it takes such a talent to write like that. Like Aurora just captured perfectly those moments, not only between Alex and Leah, but when they were alone and having that moment of realization. Everything was captured so perfectly that you felt it so wholly with the book. And Leah's little insecurities, they're instantly silenced by Alex. The way she looks at her, the way she touches her, the things she says to her, it was just utter perfection. It was so cute. I literally cried, I laughed, and most importantly, like I say, I really fell in love with two amazing characters. Like, and I love that when that happens, when you find those two characters and you just end up pretty much feeling like you've been privileged, totally privileged, to be able to share their journey with them, and that you got to see them falling in love so intimately. You got to experience that. I also have this like really uncontrollable urge as well at the moment now, just to blast out show tunes and grab my hairbrush and sing. And yeah, so told you, full of cute moments. It's still in my head, like literally, and there's no video evidence of this, but I did get my Evita soundtrack out. I did sing over it into my hairbrush, but luckily no one's around to film me doing that, so nobody saw it. Yay! But it does give me a really impulsive urge to do that again every time I think about this book, so that's good too. And it's something to enjoy, and you can have a go as well when you read the book, because you won't be able to resist the urge. You will want to throw on your soundtracks and your show tunes and just belt a few out like into your hairbrush. Totally. I know it's a really girly thing to do, it's just what I do, and I loved this book. Gave me the opportunity to do that, but it was absolutely fantastic and just a lovely, really heartwarming romance, and you just won't be able to help but fall in love with this book. You're going to. I really look forward to reading the rest of the series. I do have them. I've had them for the longest time. I can't wait to read them, and I just know that you'll love this romance. You really will. So I have to give a massive shout out to Rach at Lay Reviewer, because she was the one who told me that I needed to read this entire series. I had bought Spring's Wake when I met Aurora at Bold Strokes Books Festival a couple of years ago, and Rach was like, you need the entire series, you can't start in the middle, and she was so right. She's so right about these things. And so I'm really glad that I got Winter's Harbour. I'm really glad that I read it, and I'm really, like I say, looking forward to the rest of the series. So I'll pop a link in the description so you can go and grab a copy of Winter's Harbour by Aurora Rey. If you've already read Winter's Harbour, which I'm guessing so many of you probably have, but if you have, comment below, let me know what you thought of it. I would love to talk to you about it. I also want to know if any of you got the urge to sing into your hairbrush, or whether that was just me. And if you haven't read it yet, but it's on your reading list, or you're planning to read it, or you're now really interested in reading it, again, comment below, let us know that you're interested in reading it. And if you do grab a copy of it, I really hope you fall in love with it as much as I did. Bye!